This is like every time I see you. I have a fashion week event. Later.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jano Lieber. Thank you for joining us. I'm the MTA Chair and CEO, here with our Construction Development President, Torres Springer, and MTA Chief Accessibility Officer, Quamel Arroyo. Also joined by one major domo in Albany, State Senator Mike Gianaris, an old friend and a big supporter of transit accessibility. There are a couple, I just want to acknowledge there are folks who are represented here or meant to be represented here, Assemblymember Raga, Councilmember Krishnan. All the electeds in this area have been big supporters of the MTA and of accessibility. Listen, fun to be here in Woodside, a great New York neighborhood to celebrate completion of yet another ADA station at Northern Boulevard. 5,000 daily riders are going to benefit. I came up with a couple of them on the, it wasn't the official inaugural ride. I promised the Greifs. Okay. We'll have the official inaugural ride with the advocates, but folks are already using this great benefit. I want to hear it, let's hear it for the contractors who made it happen. J-Track, PC Electric, the project manager, HNTB, Will Torres, where are you? Thank you. Thank you for what you guys did to manage the project along. And of course, there's an amazing, you see the MTA folks back here. Our projects are now directly managed by MTA people. The real accountability for these projects is on MTA officials, and it's making a difference, so we want to acknowledge them as well. And I am so proud of how we are knocking these projects out 5 times faster than the MTA in the old days. We are using every available strategy to add new accessible stations to the map, and here are the stats that show 37 stations just since we formed MTA Construction and Development a couple of years ago. 33 more in construction right now. Another 21 that are in design or the procurement process, and they'll be in construction soon. And right behind all those, we're going to hit 60 new stations as part of the 2020 to 2025 to 29 MTA capital program approved with Mike Gianaris' help and Governor Hochul's leadership just this past legislative session. So why are we pushing so hard to make the system finally fully accessible? Because every New Yorker ought to be able to take advantage of this amazing subway system we have. Transit, as everybody knows, is the great equalizer. It gives access to everybody, to jobs, to medical care, to education, to everything the city has to offer. Now, there is a lot of talk about affordability these days. We hear it on the lips of all of our electeds and a lot of other people. Hear this, at 15% the cost of owning an automobile, transit, and with almost 2 million New Yorkers having free or half-price rides already, transit is already one of the very few things that makes New York affordable. It is already part of the affordability solution. I am proud that New Yorkers, all of us, spend so much less than the people in the rest of the country on transportation as a component of our family budgets. We are ahead of the world in affordability because transit is one thing that makes New York affordable. And there is a special link, I always say, between affordability and accessibility. Accessibility projects like the one we are celebrating today serve some of our most economically challenged populations in the city. Who are those? Seniors, many of whom are living on fixed incomes, parents and caretakers with families trying to figure out a way to raise a family in New York, and most of all, in the economically challenged category, we have to acknowledge are people with disabilities who have not historically had the same access to jobs and economic empowerment. So we are going to keep working to make this system fully accessible, and we're going to stay loud and proud about everything that is being done under Governor Hochul's leadership with the support of the legislature to make our MTA system accessible and to make sure it continues to be affordable. So with that, let me turn it over to Jamie for a little more detail on the project.
Thank you very much, Jano. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm also thrilled to be here in Woodside to celebrate subway accessibility at this important station. 5,000 daily riders passing through here. We completed the elevator construction on budget here late this summer, and this is the 5th accessible station that we've completed this year. A few more to go. It's also the 2nd station from this big package we call ADA Package 4 that we've completed following Bay Ridge, which we celebrated in July. We have 2 more in the hopper for this. Parkchester, we're going to get that done this year. Right? Yep. Looking at the contractor, followed by 137th Street City College on the Broadway line. So what did we get done at this station? 2 new street-to-platform elevators. You can see them. We'll inaugurate them in a minute. But we go way beyond that. Platform edge reconstruction, where we built new ADA boarding areas and installed new tactile edge warning strips. Other improvements, 2 reconstructed street-to-platform stairwells, new treads and landings serving each. That's also a big accessibility measure for the system. A new accessible fare array on the southbound side, new customer information screens, new lighting, upgrades to fire alarm and CCTV systems, improvements to the sidewalk and the curb cuts to meet modern ADA code. This station gets a whole overhaul in order to get there. And to top it off, this project features 360 square feet of 3 beautiful new tile mosaics along the mezzanine walls. So we're really excited about this station. I want to thank the key players in this. Jano mentioned it. C&D really steps up and manages this work. That's led by Bhargav Shah and Jermaine Francis, our project CEO, who's doing a great job. Jermaine's new to that role and doing a great job across the system. Of course, we're grateful for JTRAC and TC and HNTB and Modern Elevators. And this project received significant funding support from the federal government. So we thank the Federal Transit Administration for that partnership. The new Federal Transit Administrator has articulated a real commitment to accessibility, and we're really seeing it get done with federal funding support at a station like this. So thank you very much, and with that, I'll pass it on to Senator Gianaris.
Thank you, everybody. Good morning. Let me begin by thanking Jano Lieber, who's a terrific head of the MTA. I have seen many leaders of the MTA over the years, and no one has shown the commitment and dedication to our communities that Jano has. So thank you, Jano, for what you've done. He mentioned that they're getting this done faster. I have press conferences outside the Astoria Boulevard station on the N line probably 20 years ago asking for elevators, and so it was slow going for a long time. We do have one now, thankfully. But they are happening at a faster clip now than they have been, and that's because of the leadership that's standing here today. So we're very, very appreciative of that, and we have a lot to go. The fact is, before this leadership team was in place, the MTA was asleep at the switch as it related to making our stations accessible, and there were whole swaths of New Yorkers who were suffering as a result. Imagine just not being able to access the mass transit system to get to work, to get to school, to get to wherever you have. And that's obviously people with disabilities had that problem, seniors and people who had mobility challenges. And as someone who's a new father, anyone with a stroller would have a real hard time getting up and down the stairs to get into the subways now can access these elevators. So it's a great thing. Looking forward to getting the system entirely compliant and accessible. And that would be a great day. Big day today. Thank you again. Next stop, fast and free buses with the help of our new mayor, Jano. We're going to get there. Thank you all very much.
All right. Dose of reality coming from Quimel Arroyo.
Thank you all for joining us today. I'm Quimel Arroyo, Chief Accessibility Officer for the MTA, and it's truly a pleasure to be here celebrating the 153rd station that is accessible here at the MTA. Thank you so much, Jano, Jamie, Senator, and the whole crew. It really takes a village to get this project done, from folks in D.C., Chuck Schumer, of course, the governor and her team. It really requires all these folks prioritizing accessibility, prioritizing transit. As Jano said, transit is the equalizer for New York City to work for everyone. And what that means is people like myself who have mobility disabilities to be able to have access to get to work, to get to school, to get to their hospitals, but also to visit their loved ones and friends on their own time. Also, last year we saw 65 million tourists. Not one of those tourists could get up and down these stairs with ease with luggage. These elevators help maintain that tourism, help maintain that vitality throughout the city. but also everyday families and parents and people just going shopping. Accessibility impacts everyone, from more trips taken by able-bodied people because now they have ease to do so, to people with disabilities like myself who never had the opportunity to get up and down this station. This is also a transit hub. We have 3 bus lines that cut here, the Q18, the Q66, and the Q63, really making this a transit hub where people can use the multimodal system. My team and I are very active, speaking to New Yorkers about that system-wide trust in accessibility. We have paratransit that has always been moving over 40,000 trips a day for people who cannot use the subways and buses, but also talking about the reliability of our bus systems, which we continue to enhance and make more accessible. But the train, it's my preferred method of moving around the city. Is definitely the fastest way to get around the city. And the entertainment is gratuitous, so hey, everybody wins. It is a pleasure. It is such a joy to be doing this. Thank you, Jano, Jamie, the disability advocates who keep our feet to the fire and keep us honest to what we do. Thank you so much. And we're going to be back. We're going to be doing more of these. We've prioritized over 15 stations in this plan. People, you've heard me say it before, long gone are the days of focusing in downtown Brooklyn and downtown Manhattan. We are not only in the better boroughs, but the world borough here in Queens. So thank you all for joining us. Unas cuantas palabras en español. Estamos aquí celebrando la apertura de nuestra estación 153, accesible aquí en el sistema de la MTA. Para mí es un placer estar aquí con Jano, con Jamie y todos los constructores que hacen este proyecto una realidad. Todo neoyorquino se merece el acceso de moverse con independencia. Familias con coches, neoyorquinos envejecedores y sí, neoyorquinos con discapacidad, pero también los turistas que se mueven con maletas, que no pueden subir y bajar escaleras con facilidad. Hoy estamos dándole el acceso a todos para que se puedan mover con independencia. Así que gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. Now turn it back to you, Jana.
Great. Okay, Mr. Minton.
All right, we may have some questions from the assembled reporters. Questions. Why don't we start with Samantha Liebman of New York One?
Okay.
Sam?
Yes, all right. I have one on and one off topic. The on topic is, what are the next elevators that are in the pipeline that we're going to see? And how many more can we see this year?
Go ahead.
You know what's next?
Steinway. Yes,
Let's get you a specific list, but we are shooting for more than a dozen stations made ADA accessible this year. Each one, the exact sequence is always complicated by as we're able to get that really technical work of getting an elevator working and safe and tested. But we are going to hit more than a dozen stations ADA accessible this year.
All right, anything else on topic? No. So anybody with the orange vest who doesn't want to get involved in potential mystery question that's about to come up, you're welcome to excuse yourself or stay with us.
Defend me, yeah.
Or stay with us. It's up to you. But you never know with these reporters. All right. Sam, you said you had an off-topic question.
I do. With the UN General Assembly next week, obviously there's going to be some changes with buses. Also, I know people are encouraged to use mass transit. Is there going to be any extra service?
Listen, we have Sam. You know this because you're a user and a rider. We got plenty of room on the system right now. So the key is that everybody who would consider driving during the UN General Assembly needs to have their head examined, because it is always. I won't say the word. It is always a challenge to get around New York, Manhattan especially, when all those ambassadors are riding around in their cars with the little flags and so on. So, you know, be smart, take mass transit, and let's take advantage of this amazing system. We do have plenty of room and a ton of service. We got a lot more service on the railroads, especially Long Island Railroad, a lot more service on the subways, and the buses are rolling as well. So come and try. If you haven't tried it out and you've been driving, you need to try mass transit because it's rocking and socking.
How is it going to affect the buses, though, in that area?
I mean, we have an amazing operations planning group at New York City Transit that actually is pretty practiced at developing what they call supplements or sort of special travel plans for unique conditions, whether it's construction or an emergency, or in this case, the repetitive General Assembly. They have plans that they use every year for how to work around, as I said, all those ambassadors from faraway places who are double and triple parking in their cars with the little flags on them. So we know how to do it, and we're going to do it right next week.
All right. Any other questions? We're good. Any?
Can I ask one more question?
Well, one more question. Let's see if
who else
anybody
is
else
here?
has a question first. Anybody else? All right. Sam, last question, and then we got to get to the ceremonies.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Councilmember Nurse says that around Broadway Junction, MTA cars are not moving for sanitation to clean, that it is a mess and a buildup.
Yeah.
And she's tried to work with the MTA to get it cleaned up and work with sanitation. Is there any movement on that front?
I know that we've had some folks in our government and community relations operation who've been talking to council member in the last week or two about that. I was very disturbed to read that the story of how that some MTA workers, I don't know exactly who, may be impacting on that community, and I'm getting a briefing this week about it so that we can work closely with the electeds out there and hopefully do something about it, because we want to be good neighbors. Now, mind you, there have been a lot of MTA workers who have been pushed to that facility because of changes that have taken place elsewhere in Queens and Brooklyn. And so parking has become an issue, apparently. But needless to say, we need a plan that makes sure that the local community can thrive and use the public facilities.
All right, thank you, sir. And Sam, for clarity, you're talking about people's personal cars. These are not MTA vehicles that are out there. It's their personal cars. They drive to work. The managers are counseling them. All right, thanks, everybody. This is great. For the dozens of news organizations watching online, we're going to do a ceremonial first ride here, and in the meantime, we're going to feed you some B-roll package coming on the feed. Thanks again, everybody.
You need anything? Coffee? You are gonna move it? Okay.
So we're gonna set it over here, like you said?
Sure. Sounds like it.
Put the table here, cameras there.
We'll try to maybe. Let's move it.
You gonna move it?
Just move this way.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm gonna get coffee from there. I'm gonna get my what you call it? My McDonald's. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get your work. You gonna buy it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I'll just take a coffee.